Hi everyone, welcome to the introduction to radio. So today I will be discussing why radio remains a vital part of communication, specifically focusing on its impact and evolution. I will also cover its role in reaching remote areas, aiding in disaster communication, preserving culture, and adapting to digital platforms. Radio is one of the most accessible and far reaching media forms, especially important here in the Philippines. It's a vital tool for connecting with people in remote areas and plays a key role during natural disasters, providing crucial updates when other media might fail. More than just a news source, radio builds a sense of community. Local stations offer then content in local languages, feature regional music, and share community news, making radio a trusted and a relatable part of our everyday life. In a country as geographically and culturally diverse as ours, radio continues to be an essential bridge, keeping everyone informed and connected. So let's take a quick look at the history of radio here in the Philippines. Radio then began in the 1920s and quickly became one of the most popular ways for people to stay informed and entertained. By the time of World War II, radio played a critical role used both for spreading propaganda and as a tool for resistance, helping people to keep hope alive, mostly among Filipinos during a difficult time. Then, during the martial law era, radio showed its resilience and power once again. The underground broadcast emerged, giving people a more access to vital information and creating a space for connection, empowerment, and even a subtle way for resistance. So, this rich history has shaped radio into more than just a medium. It's become a symbol of resilience and community. Today, radio remains a trusted and enduring part of Philippine history, valued for its ability to reach everyone and even everywhere. So let's now talk about radio as a medium purely for hearing. Because it lacks visuals, radio is often called a blind medium, but this doesn't limit its impact. If anything, apparently enhances it. So listeners depend on voices, music, and sound effects to interpret and even visualize what's being conveyed. Every sound, from a subtle background noise to a powerful voice, it plays a role in building a scene in the listener's mind. This approach gives radio a special kind of power, inviting listeners to engage their imaginations and actively participate in the experience. Instead of being presented with a picture, each listener creates their own mental images, making the experience uniquely personal and immersive. So, in this way, radio storytelling feels intimate, as if it's speaking directly to each individual, creating a connection that's both memorable and impactful. Here in the Philippines, radio has an immersive reach, connecting with people in even the most remote areas, from distant islands to mountainous regions. So its affordability and simplicity makes it accessible to a wide range of people, cutting across economic boundaries and making a true mass medium. This is why radio remains so valuable. It's there for everyone, from urban centers and even to rural communities. With its broad reach and accessibility, radio serves as a lifeline for millions, reinforcing its place as a vital part of our Philippine society. Radio plays then an important role in times of crisis. So during disasters, radio often becomes the only reliable way to get updates because local stations keep broadcasting vital information even when other communication channels are down. This makes radio our lifeline when people needs it most. For example, during the Typhoon Yolanda, radio stations often shared live sharing information, helped coordinate relief efforts, and kept communities informed about what was happening. These broadcasts were crucial for those affected, especially in areas where other forms of communication had completely stopped working. This then shows us like how dependable radio is in times of crisis and why it remains such an important tool for public safety and community support. Radio also plays an important role in preserving our culture and languages. So, with around 170 languages spoken across the country, radio helps keep these languages and local stories alive. Stations like Radio Lumad, the voices of the Mindanao tribes, which broadcast the indigenous languages, it helped maintain cultural identity and celebrate diversity. This then makes radio a powerful platform for reaching community voices and local stories, ensuring that these unique cultural narratives continue to be heard and appreciated. Radio's evolution and its digital integration. So, in the Philippines, radio has been evolving to keep up with the digital age. Stations are now streaming online, allowing listeners to tune in from anywhere, actually, even abroad. So, social media has also become a key part of the strategy, with stations engaging listeners through live chats, polls, and even in comments. The interaction creates a more personal, two-way experience, especially appealing to our younger audiences. Some stations even offer podcasts and on demand content, making it easy for listeners to catch up anytime. So, by blending our traditional radio with the current digital platforms, Philippine radio stations are staying relevant, connecting with the broader and more tech savvy audiences. So now we go through the radio strengths and challenges. Radio does have its limitations. It lacks visual, so it can struggle a bit to compete with the more eye-catching media that we are used to. Plus, radio often ends up as a background medium, something people listen to while they're doing other things. Like it can mean listeners aren't fully focused on what they're hearing. But even with these challenges, radio strengths make it stand out. It's incredibly accessible and affordable, reaching people in places where other media might not. That makes invaluable, especially in communities that don't have any easy access to digital or visual media. And there's still a certain intimacy to radio, like the voices we hear on air feel like close and familiar, almost like a friend talking to you, which builds out trust and a unique kind of connection that other media struggle to match. And let's not forget how resilient radios are. During crises like storms, power outages, or emergencies, radio is often the most reliable source of information. It's been a lifeline for so many communities, especially here in the Philippines, where it remains a trusted go to for critical updates during the said situations. So, yes, radio do have its limitations, but its accessibility, intimacy, and dependability make it a powerful and irreplaceable tool. So, just to wrap it up, let's take a quick moment to really appreciate what radio represents. Radio isn't just another medium, it is a bridge that connects people across distances, cultures, and generations. It has its unique way of reaching everyone from bustling cities to the most remote villages, making it a truly powerful tool for communication. Radio informs us, it entertains us, and even during moments of crisis, it provides a lifeline critical information available for everyone. Here in our country, in the Philippines, radio has a special place in the media landscape. It doesn't just broadcast news and entertainment. It shares stories, preserves traditions, and strengthens our sense of community and cultural identity. So throughout this module, we will explore these layers. We'll dive into the strengths and challenges that come with radio simplicity, like the fact that it's audio only, which might seem limiting in our visual, tech driven world. But as we will see, that simplicity is actually one of radio's greatest strengths. So by removing the distractions, radio allow us to focus on the voice, the story, and the message, creating a connection that feels personal and real. We will also look at radio's role in promoting social and economic development. So from health education and public service announcements to local music and cultural programs, radio has an incredible reach and impact. And of course, we will dive also into the craft of radio itself, learning the skills and techniques that go into creating effective and engaging content. We will also cover the radio craft essentials like storytelling, interviewing, and creating soundscapes that capture attention and even a world full of distractions. So by the end of our study, we will have a deeper understanding of how radio works, why it is still relevant, and how it can be a force for positive change. You will see why radio remains such a vital, enduring part of our lives, even with all the new technology around us. So I hope the journey gives you a new appreciation for radio techniques, qualities, and its important role in our society. Thank you very much for listening, and these are my references.